going on, everybody? Welcome back. This your boy Reckless Talk with the Reckless Talk podcast. HoustonCityBeat.com. We are the storytellers of Houston. This is episode 116, kicking it with comedian Carlos Garza. Man, my bad. I almost dropped my root beer.
Can't do that.
Drop the root beer.
Can't do that.
This episode in this podcast is sponsored by Otto's Root Beer and J-Rack Distribution LLC, the best root beer on earth. I promise you guys, it's amazing. Man, what's going on, brother? How you been, man?
I appreciate the opportunity to come out and is that an alcoholic root beer?
Nah, it's regular root beer.
Just straight up root beer.
Regular root beer. Amazing.
Bet.
Well, I told you I had some for you.
Like some A&W type stuff.
No, we don't
like
speak those names around here.
Oh, my bad. Like I'm talking about like with the ice cream scoop.
Yeah,
regular
a float. Beer.
A float.
You want one?
I can't do it. I'm trying to watch my figure, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm 40 and I'm still trying to find myself a shorty, you know what I'm saying? So
I hear that.
It's,
Man.
It's tough out here, man. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? Because you're 40 and you're single, and then you're also like 4 feet tall, so it's tough, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be this tall to ride like the, big kid ride sometimes. That happens, man.
Yo, big shout out to you, man. I appreciate you coming out, bro. This man is funny as fuck. Before we even get into the interview, I'm gonna give y'all a backstory of how we met. Big shout outs to Alex and Steph and Alex and Alex.
Yes.
They used to, for years they did open mic night at Union Tavern.
Yeah.
And I went to look for some talent. You know what I mean? It was a Halloween party on top of that, so we was all partying.
It was Halloween night, huh?
Yeah, it sure was. Halloween night, sure was. It happened to fall on that Tuesday. Yeah. And we got a bunch of artists singing, whatever. You know what I mean? And he gets on stage. And like to the point where I could not stop laughing, like my stomach was hurting, my side was hurting.
We were having fun, man. We were having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
I was talking to that one lady. This lady was timeless. Okay, she said she had like grandkids, but she looked younger than me. I was like, ma'am, like, are you sucking the souls out of like Transylvanian, Romanian children or something? Like, what's happening right now? And we were having fun. We were just kicking it with the crowd. I'm making some, racial jokes as one does. I think I said a joke about
Mexicans.
As a Mexican, I feel like I can talk on such topics. You know what I'm saying?
The topic was how Texas used to be Mexico, right, and how they used to hunt Mexicans.
Well, I was saying, look, I understand that everybody's upset with the Texas Rangers because they beat the Astros in the playoffs, and rightfully so. And I get that. Okay, I get that. Everybody's up in arms. Big Astros fans here in Houston. Much respect. But me personally, as a Mexican, historically speaking, haven't been a fan of Texas Rangers since they started hunting Mexicans when they first started out. You know what I'm saying? It would be like if Kentucky had a Ku Klux Klan NBA team and had LeBron and Kevin Durant on the team. And that's what I was saying, right? Essentially, like, it's kind of crazy because the Texas Rangers do have Hispanic people on the team, but nobody's worried about the Texas Rangers and their history. But we can't have the Redskins because that's too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just saying some stuff like that. And then apparently this lady.
And hold on, keep in mind the whole crowd was loving it. The crowd was laughing. It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. And then
it takes one Karen. All it takes is one. And look, I'm gonna say she was like the Voltron of Karens. Like it was like a Karen on top of a Karen. This was the biggest. I would say it was maybe like Brock Lesnar's sister or something. Like just the shoulders on this woman. She was dead ass, easily 6'2". Easily 6'2". What makes it even more comical is that her husband that she was sticking up for, who happened to be a Native American,
was like 4'2".
Dead ass. I was like, what is happening right now? Is she looking at her? Did she like adopt this poor Native American boy? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? He was quiet as a mouse. Didn't care about any of the jokes. He was just like happy to still be alive, apparently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know if he was in or out, honestly. She bum rushes the stage.
Hold on, before she even does that.
Oh, dead ass. You're right. Okay.
Mind you, for everybody don't know how big Union Tavern is. Union Tavern is pretty big.
It's pretty deep.
She's way on the other side at the bar.
And she screams, she's like,
we don't give a fuck.
She goes, we don't care. You can't say that. And I go, what? What was that, ma'am? I can't say that. I did say that. So maybe we can get you like an Amazon card, get you like a history book, but like what I'm saying is all factually accurate. Like I don't understand what you're getting upset about. She's like, you can't talk about Native Americans. I was like, Native Americans, what is a Native American? And I go, first of all, Mexicans are essentially just Native Americans that got raped by conquistadors. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, historically accurate. I'm not mad at it. That's why I look like a white dude or possibly Persian, because like you got the intermingling with the Europeans and whatnot. And she's like, you can't say that. I go, okay, ma'am. You know, because I'm going to control the crowd.
Yeah.
That's what I do. As an MC, you gave me the microphone. I'll respect the opportunity to control, not let things get out of hand. I go, okay, ma'am, what's your name since you're making it about you?
He bad.
She goes, oh, you don't have to know my name. All I'm saying is nobody cares about what you're saying. I go, everybody's laughing, ma'am, but you're interrupting. So you're making it about you. And I asked her again politely. Now, ma'am, I'm going to ask you again politely. What's your name? And she got tight, and she was like, don't worry about it. I go, all right, everybody, give it up for Karen. Obviously, she's having a moment. She may be confused, thinking that she's in a Target, like, return center or something, like, you know, getting a little upset. I am not the manager. Like, don't get upset with me. And once I called her Karen, bro, this lady came walking in, dead ass like Brock Lesnar, bum rushing the stage. You did not know me from a hole in the wall. Mm-hmm. I don't know what made you decide that, like, now is the time to stick up for a random Mexican you've never met. But you got in the way of me being, like, mollywopped and you know, possibly suplexed by this large woman. And you got in there. You were like, listen, hey, we don't need to do any of that.
Like, this is comedy. Like,
yeah,
come on,
like,
we're having fun. Like, damn.
Everybody's laughing, man. Everybody's laughing. And it was a packed house.
Yeah. You
know, much respect to Alex and Seth. I love those guys. I still definitely mess with those guys. Great dudes. And I always appreciate anybody giving me the opportunity to say my shit. You were stopping her. And from what I remember, I heard she said some maybe borderline egregious racial slurs to your lady. And then at that point, it's like, well, now you got to pay your tab and you got to go. Like, you know, we can't have that. And, you know, there's a certain amount of lines and you crossed damn near about all of them. Okay?
Yeah.
So don't do that. So she was reprimanded a little bit. You know, I'm sure she can go back there whenever she wants now. It's been a minute, but it was entertaining, man.
And that's how we met.
That's how we met.
You know, what, a few
Didn't
months
know
later.
me from a hole in the wall at all. And you said that night we exchanged numbers. I said, I appreciate you saving me from Sasquatch woman. That was mad ass fucking respectful. You don't know me from a hole in the wall. That's dope as hell, man. Like, game, respect game. Thank you for saving my life. I would hate to get attacked by a large Viking woman like that. Okay. And then you said, you know what, dude, that was hilarious. I'm gonna put you on a show. And I ended up doing the 100th episode podcast celebration at Kanaka's,
yes, sir.
Which was dope, super fun. Who was the comic that I went up right after?
Crazy ass Nero.
Okay, that guy was like a lightning bolt on stage. He was all over the place. He was humping the walls and stuff. I was like, yo, my man, you're doing the most. I love the energy. I look at my buddy Josh, my comedy partner. I go, Josh, what am I supposed to do, bro? Like, this guy's energy level is at 1,000. He goes, yeah, step that shit up, man.
Yeah.
The first thing I said when I got on stage is like, look, man, you've already humped all the walls. I got to go Spider-Man on this bitch. I got to hit the ceiling. Like, at this point, what do you want me to do?
Carlos goes on right after the crazy there. And keep in mind, we wrote questions down. Man, fuck them questions. We're winging this. He goes on after crazy ass there. The first thing he says, he goes, how am I supposed to compete with this?
Yeah, this wild. This guy's bouncing all over. Like, what is it? How many Red Bulls did this man drink before he got on stage? This is a very energetic, very entertaining. I love his aura. He's a cool dude. But I love good competition. And I was like, all right, bet. Y'all dance. Like, we're doing dancing now? Okay, I damn near did the splits. I don't remember what exactly happened. But what I will say is you told me to do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, there may or may not have been allegedly, and I say allegedly, there may or may not have been an altercation in the bathroom while I was on stage. And again, I say this allegedly. Okay. So now, keep in mind, I brought two of the biggest white kids you ever fucking seen.
Yeah, facts.
These kids are 6'7", 6'8", country fed. I told these big ass white boys, because I used to coach them in basketball. # Coach Carlos, respect, Hooper, ball is life. Now, these big ass fucking country kids, I told them, I said, hey man, you need to get, I told them, I said, Aaron, Robbie, you scaring the black folks, okay? Stop standing by the bathroom, because they're thinking that you guys are blockading the bathroom like there's something going on in there, like Secret Service or some shit. Like, These men damn near pissing their pants. Like, get away from the bathroom entrance.
These some big old boys.
They were huge. I had rappers come up to me, be like, "Hey, yo, Los, what you scared for, dog? Why you bringing bodyguards, dog? That's wild." And the biggest white dudes I've ever seen. I was like, "No, I don't need bodyguards. I coached these kids when they were 10 and still fucking taller than me." You know what I'm saying?
Which is dope. We're actually gonna get into that. We're actually gonna get into that, man, because you do a lot more than comedy. You know what I mean? And you have a connection with the community and these kids that was
a special moment, man.
Yeah,
to get a chance to give those kids their flowers and to see that they grew up to be fucking amazing pillars of the community, and they're at school and they're doing good shit, and I'm proud of those kids. Yeah. Robbie, Aaron, if you hear this or watch it later, nothing but love for you guys. Great family that raised those kids. Have you got like kids that are gonna come out and be like, "Oh, I gotta see Coach Carlos. He thinks he's funny." And that guy right before me, right? Crazy ass Nero, and then Robbie and Aaron like, "You ready for this, man?" They're like, "You better be funny, coach." That guy was funny.
And that was dope, man, cause like he totally changed up his whole skit. I can tell he changed up his whole skit.
I had to.
And it was dope, man, and the respect level these young men have for you. He coached them as kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? So to still stay in contact with you, to come out to your show, and I can relate to that.
Yeah.
One of my mentors
is my
old basketball coach.
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
That's
so I get it. And that was my basketball coach from junior high.
That's what coaching and sports does. It develops like toughness and learning how to accept loss. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And tough times and things like that. And through tough times, you're gonna come out the end. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna hit a pause button real quick, and I'm gonna get a little bit serious.
Hold on, before we do that.
Okay.
Time out. Let's rewind.
Let's
tell everybody where you from. You know what I mean? Where you're originally from, and what was it like growing up in the city?
I'm a Mexican from Michigan.
A Mexican from Michigan.
So I grew up. I mean, I was born in Dearborn, Michigan Hospital. I was raised up until I was about 5 years old, like in Detroit. But I only had like Spanish caretakers and people around me that were speaking Spanish.
Okay.
So deadass only spoke Spanish till I was about 5 or so, right?
Oh wow!
And
then growing up in Michigan.
And I went to kindergarten when we moved to the suburbs. Shout out Woodhaven. I was making that joke on stage too because everybody's throwing up their sets. I was like, "Hey, what about the woo? Woodhaven in the house? Okay, cool. Nobody's fucking Woodhaven. All right, bet." Like, dude, all the rappers are looking at me. They're like, "Woodhaven? Did he just say the woo? That's what? No, that's not." Woodhaven? That doesn't sound dangerous at all, man. Like, not even a little bit. That shit was funny to me. I didn't care. Like, at that point, a lot of times you go on stage, like, if you can make yourself laugh, then the audience shortly should fucking follow. And if they don't, then you don't have a good sense of humor.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. How do you go about, like, have you ever bombed on stage or lost the crowd?
That's what an open mic is. An open mic is where you go to develop new jokes or jokes that you're working on, trying different ways, like just throwing spaghetti on the wall to see what sticks. You know what I'm saying? And I love the craft. I love the art of it all. Just super appreciative to even be able to do it. And understanding that, like, I go to local open mics that more or less are comedic, or not comedic, but musical open mics. Now, you go to a music open mic, they're going to give you 15 minutes because they're going to say you can play 3 songs. You got your little ukulele or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or your jazz flute, if you will. And I appreciate to have more time to kind of stretch that out. That night, the Halloween night, I recorded the set. It was like, I was on stage for like 22 minutes.
Yeah,
so to be on stage for 22 minutes at an open mic, like I may have overstayed my welcome a little bit, and then getting bun rushed by Viking women. That was like, yeah, that's I think that's my cue. But yeah. And I do that to cultivate a crowd for the local shows that I'm trying to bring to my side of town, because I feel like there's a void that needs to be filled, and I know a lot of these local degenerates, and if they're laughing at my jokes at the bar, why not get paid for it? You know what I'm saying? And why not do a real show? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do that. And it is difficult. And when you bomb, yeah, like, it doesn't feel good, But just like anything else, it's only gonna make you better.
Yeah.
It's just like exercising a little too hard. Like, yeah, like you are micro tearing your muscles, but you do that to that. He's
Skeeter eaters.
you know what I'm saying? But you're only gonna get stronger.
Yeah.
And I try to, try new stuff. A lot of the stuff doesn't work, whatever. Some of it hits, sometimes it doesn't. It is what it is. But that's how you build material.
Man, how do you, man? Like, I truly believe, man. Like every time I'm on Facebook or any platform, or you're sending me flyers. How many open mics or just shows in general do you think you do a month?
I can't quantify that.
A lot.
Honestly, I would say okay, on any given week, just open mics. I would say there's a Sunday open mic that I'll go to in Texas City that I'll co-host with my buddy Josh recently. Shout out Moonshine Cowgirls. All the bartenders over there are amazing. Mason, Gracie, Tony, the manager. Then there's Union Tavern on Tuesdays. Then there's Rock Newton's on Wednesdays. Then there's Iron Horse also on Tuesday. So after this, I'm going to go to Union Tavern, talk my shit. Then I'm going to go to Iron Horse, talk some more shit, take some pictures, because we're going to be doing some shows at Iron Horse that I'll talk about towards the end of the show to kind of promote the different shows that we got going on. But yeah, man, we got a lot of things going off. I would say, we got about 4 or 5 different venues that should be finalized by the end of the month. We capitalized on an opportunity with Rock Newton's this past Tuesday, put about 150 people on a random Tuesday night for a comedy show.
That's dope.
It was.
Especially on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, bro? You turn up on a Tuesday?
Real shit. That's dope.
It was insane. Yeah. The love that I felt from my friends, and also you got to keep in mind, man, like, because my social media presence is damn near nothing. If you look at my Facebook page, I'm not posting anything. Mm-hmm. It's just things that other people have tagged me in, okay? And that's for a good reason that I'll get to a little later, but I am literally hitting the streets and shaking hands, kissing babies.
Old school way.
Going to strip clubs, seeing pregnant strippers with puppies on the stage, after-hour spots, doing all kinds of weird things, marketing, always marketing, marketing more. And you know what's funny is, like, a girl will give you their phone number a lot quicker if you tell her you're a comic and you have no intentions of really trying to court her at all. You know what I'm saying? And if there's a bunch of pretty girls at the shows, then the guys will come to buy the shots, the drinks, and and I learned that very quickly Tuesday. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Have you? Let's go back to when you was a kid, man. Were you always funny? Did you know you wanted to be a comedian, and were you that class clown?
You have to understand, I had an interesting childhood, and I appreciate my parents because they were working a lot and they did the best, and they're always there for me when they could be. Mm-hmm. But my babysitters were VHS tapes. My parents had movie stores, 2 movie stores. So I was testing video games, I was watching movies, and then when they weren't paying attention, I'd go into the comedy section and I would steal some showcases. You got your Eddie Murphys, your Richard Pryors, your Robin Williams, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would go in and I'd take your George Carlins, and I'd take those tapes and I'd watch them in my room when nobody, on low, because, they would be saying some wild stuff in the 70s, 80s,
no
whatever.
Filters.
Yeah.
No filters.
And it was so much fun, man. I love that stuff. And when me and my dad would be driving down road trips from Michigan all the way to Mexico, and everybody else is asleep in the car or the van, what have you, or the truck, we would put on Sirius radio to the comedy section, and we would, listen to comedy together. My parents used to make me do impersonations as a child for the holidays for the rest of the family. As a kid, they'd be like, all right, do Urkel, or do Arnold Schwarzenegger, or do Eddie Murphy impersonating James Brown. You know what I'm saying? Do all that. You know what I'm saying? And it was scary, you know, because you're going up in front of everybody. It was like, okay, make me laugh, clown. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, yeah, they trained me on how to read the room, be funny, entertain them.
So it's safe to say that they definitely back you 100%.
The way I was raised, like, instead of reading books, I was watching movies. You know what I'm saying? And I got a lot of like movie culture references and jokes, and watching all of the showcases and specials from all of those amazing comics that, you know what I'm saying, like Pryor, the GOAT, and all the things. Like, it just made me love comedy. Like when I was in 4th grade, and you write like, "What do I want to be when I grow up?" speech. Yeah. It was comic.
So you knew as a kid from jump, like, I want to be a comedian.
It was definitely something that made me feel alive. Yes, you know.
What would you say? It's crazy. That's actually one of my questions I was going to ask about the movies, and then we got Amani in here saying thing your favorite movie. But also before you answer that, what TV shows, or as of right now, what's a good TV show that you like comedy wise, and favorite comedy movie?
Man, that's not fair, bro. That's not fair, because I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of TV shows, because you have to understand, like, there's too many cooks in the kitchen for the movies nowadays. And that's what's making the movies not as original or whatever. You got to have a yellow person, a purple person, a black person. Like, it's just like, we got to fit this demographic or whatever.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
It's so wild. Like, I'm like, just tell the original story. Like, let the guy do what he intended on doing. And you always hear about directors being like, "This is not what I wanted to do." But in TV shows, there's a lot less oversight, and that's why I think there's an amazing time for TV in general. Honestly, one of the kind of sneaky, funny shows that I just recently kind of finished up was Atlanta, with with what's his name, Childish Gambino. What's his actual name?
I don't remember.
Yeah. But I loved that. That was a funny ass show, and it was. That's
the information person back there. What's Childish Gambino's real name? Anybody in the comments know? Yo, we got mad people in the comments. What's going on? We got my guy Joey Slab. Big shout out to my guy Joey Slab. We got Rob in the building. Man, Bobby Bless, what's good, my guy? We got Mr. Hill in the building. Amani, what's going on, everybody, for real? We got Perkins in. Said short kings need protection too.
Hell yeah.
Yo, we got Dusty Hayes in the building. What's going on, everybody? Would you say what would you growing up when doing the movie, watching movies all the time? Would you say any movie in particular from your childhood influenced your comedy career to this day?
It's just too many to mention. But like, again, I was dead ass like a 6-year-old movie critic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched so many movies. I do remember when I started getting in trouble, like in my adolescent age, like I would watch like Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison, like when I was grounded. You know what I'm saying? Just in my room or whatever. Loved all of those SNL movies with David Spade and Farley, National Lampoons and stuff like that. Like, your Wedding Crashers, your Old School, stuff like that, man. Like, I don't think you can, like, nowadays everything's so politically correct. You can't get away with that type of.
And that's just what I was gonna ask you, man. Yeah. Do you stay away from certain jokes and certain materials?
Absolutely not. What do you mean? Why would I do that?
and that's what I love, man. I love it.
Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing about comedy. And look, a lot of comics they don't have to co-sign my personal opinion on what makes comedy an amazing art form. Is that you do not have to agree with my site or my purview or whatever aspects on a particular political issue. But if I can make you laugh and you still disagree with me, then we're kind of all coming together. You see what I'm saying? And we're healing. Yes. So if we can laugh at something that we both disagree on, but I see you laughing, and I know you're saying it's fucked up, but you're still laughing, that's comedy. Yes, and I will definitely cross the line. And I'm not trying to. And sometimes I misread the room. I'll be like, yo, my bad. I didn't know you weren't pregnant. I thought you were.
Damn it!
You're just Big Betty, and that's on me. That's on me.
Not Big Betty,
bro. You know, or like instead of like a little Debbie, like a Big Deborah. You know what I'm saying?
Big Deborah.
Yeah.
Little Debbie turned into Big Deborah.
Yeah. I thought Big Deborah was having a little Debbie, but she just ate too many little Debbies. You know what I'm saying? So it happens.
Yo, I'm weak, man. This cat is funny,
It
man.
does happen. Yeah. You know what's funny is when I say a lot of fat chick jokes, it will literally be fat chicks after the show being like, hey, like, can you just ease up on the fat chick jokes? And I'm like, I will try. But if you can ease up on the buffet line, then... But you can't say that. Can you say that? I said that. See? And I think I answered your question. Like, am I not? Yeah, I'm going to say what you were thinking.
He answered it in
wanted
detail,
to say.
too.
I'll say what you wanted to say, but we're too afraid to say it. That's the difference between us. That's why I'm on the stage, and you're just pointing and judging. I too can point and judge, but I have a microphone, so I win.
There you go, man. Well, are there any comedians that you look up to that that helped your career?
Nobody helped my career.
Or inspired, should I say, helped inspire? Yeah.
I mean, look, like I love Robin Williams, R.I.P. I love the way that Pryor turned his personal tragic moments that people were collectively laughing, pointing at him, judging him, thinking lesser of him. And he's like, okay, I'm going to take that power of you belittling me in a dark moment in my life, and I'm going to turn it into comedy. And I'm going to make you guys laugh at something that was, I mean, bro, him shooting the tires, bro, that was iconic.
Running down the street on fire?
Yeah, with a lighter? Who was this? Oh, this is Richard Pryor. Like, yeah. It's, bro, that type of comedic genius, and I feel like a lot of times that's why people love comedy so much, is because it highlights those low moments and turns it into funny.
Yeah.
And sometimes to get through the dark spots in your life, you can do nothing but laugh. You know what I'm saying? Being broke as a joke, fucking eating mayonnaise sandwiches, just laughing at yourself, knowing that the come up is right around the corner. Like, that's, bro, we've all been there, eating ramen noodles and whatnot, junior college type shit. Like, hey, that's those moments when you can sit back, laugh, just appreciate you got 10 toes, 10 fingers. God's blessed you more than most.
Yeah, big fact. Man, let's talk about your creative process, man. How do you come up with your material? Is it everyday life, you know what I mean? Or do you...
I can pull from so many different aspects. And as a comic, you should be able to pull not only from your personal stories, be able to turn a funny story and cut the fat out of it. Could you ever try and talk to somebody who thinks they're funny? Like, oh man, I got a funny story. And you're like, all right, bet. And it's like, all right, it's a quick story. And then 30 minutes later, you're like, bitch, where's the funny? What are we talking about? You took like 3 different tangents. Like, tighten up. That's why, as a comic, like, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say this. Like, sometimes I got friends who aren't comics, and then they'll be like, yo, so check this out, it's a really funny story. And in my head, I'm like, there's no fucking way that this story is going to be that funny. Not a chance in hell. You're gonna tangent off and shit, and I know it, and I love them because those are my friends. But then I tell them like, yo, man, tighten up, and then I'll retell their story to them in like 30 seconds, and I'm like, and that's comedy. You got to cut the fat out of the fucking jokes. You know what I'm saying? Get to the funny as quick as possible. Stories, news, like what are the Jews doing in the tunnels? You know, like that's wild. Mexicans do tunnels way better. We got fucking motorcycles and shit. Like, be cool with it, bro. Y'all just coming out with the yarmulkes. That's wild. Come on.
Yo, you seen that, right? Like, I seen that video.
I was like, what's happening?
There's literally like an underground community of Jews in New York.
Could you imagine?
It's crazy.
Could you imagine the guy who was trying to call the police like a crazy person being like, I'm hearing the Jews. They're in the basement. Sir, there's no basement, sir. There's no basement. You're at ground level, sir. There's no basement. I hear the Jews in the basement. Like,
yo.
And he's like, I fucking told you. I told you.
Yo, when I see
whoever that guy is who
man.
made those calls, bro, God bless you, bro. Yeah, because nobody knows until they fucking know. That's all.
Before we get into this serious matter we about to bring up.
Okay.
I've totally forgot my question. Let's get into the serious matter.
Okay. So
hold on, time out. I remember it again. Time out. I remember. All right.
Hey man, it's like you are a coach, man. You calling timeouts, you fucking pulling audibles. Hey, Blue 42. Yeah. Okay.
So I know a lot of comedians when they're doing a show and they get off stage, they don't like people coming to them trying to give them material, give them jokes.
I don't give a shit.
You don't care about that? All right. That was my next question.
Here's the thing. I'm not like other comedians, and I know this because most other comedians are more or less like very introverted, very socially awkward, kind of like this like nuanced, like, oh, I'm like a wannabe writer, but I'm writing my jokes. I realize that the whole art of comedy is just a ridiculous comedic farce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take myself that serious.
No.
I've had random friends of mine come up and be like, that's good. What about this? And I've actually used it, and it's killed.
No.
So you can't be so closed-minded to not be willing to hear somebody out. Now, more often than not, they'll tell me some dumbass shit, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, bet. Never use it.
And never use it.
Never use it. But look, if you're always going to learn more by listening, you know what I'm saying? So if you give everybody an opportunity to prove you wrong, they'll be like, all right, obviously you proved me wrong. But that 10%, and I've used it, and I was like, oh, man. And then I'll go and show them, and I'm like, hey, remember when you told me this? Yeah, I got video of it. Killed.
Yeah.
And they feel really cool about that.
That's
we
dope.
get to have that
That's
moment.
dope.
I'm like, hey, man, like, I appreciate that.
No.
And you gotta pay like I would be such an asshole to just like, hey, and then like never tell them that shit killed. Like that's wild.
Yeah, big fact.
Just super unappreciative. I'm not that dude.
All right, man. Listen, we live in a world of cancel culture, man. You can't like you mentioned earlier. You say certain things that people want to cancel you and this and that, and then you have some comedians like yourself that don't care, and you're gonna say what you say and you're gonna do what you do, and I respect that and I love that because, man, that's what comedy's for. You know what I mean? We work hard all week. You know, we got kids, snotty-nosed kids, and people, you know what I mean? Just, heck, we know how it is as adult life. You know what I mean? So a weekend come and we want to go to a comedy show and relax and laugh.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that without people getting mad at what you're saying.
Liberal agendas and alphabet culture or whatever. Like, I get it, bro. And I can't sit here and claim to be an ally of literally anything, even my own people. I will judge you on a person-to-person basis. Mm-hmm. And it's always the people that you think are the closest that can hurt you the most. Yes. And that's what I've learned in life. And that's the tough thing that is a reality for most people. And it sucks. I'm 40, so I've lived a good minute and gone through a lot of stuff. That being said, I am what you would call a quote-unquote canceled comic. But I think it's interesting because you go, well, how can you be canceled if you're not really renowned or traveling or anything like that? All I'm essentially trying to do is bring comedy to my side of town. Mm-hmm. And I'm out there. I'm shaking hands. I'm kissing babies. Now, I'm not a perfect man, and I never claimed to be. Mm-hmm. But that's what makes me funny, is because I will say the things and learn from my mistakes. But the problem with me is that I have to make those mistakes. A true genius would learn from other people's mistakes. I am a true idiot, and I make those mistakes on my own. And then I have to learn from them secondhand. Now, I've been accused of multiple assaults on women. That is incorrect. It was one assault that I was convicted of. But if I'm being honest, I lost that fight, okay? I lost that fight, hands down, man down. I had 2 black eyes. I had a busted lip. When the cops did show up, I was hiding in the closet like a bitch. And I say that respectfully to all bitches. Respectfully, okay? It is a tough spot. I didn't want to be in that spot. And it was crazy. At the end of the day, man, like, this girl hit me like, you ever drive for 10 minutes and being punched in the face, like, for 10 minutes continuously?
Damn.
That's a tough way to drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I went through a lot. It was an abusive, controlling relationship. We sat down. We go, okay, I've got evidence on you of you punching me in the face. You got evidence of me choking you, holding you down, whatever. Like, fair is fair. We don't want to keep blackmailing each other and live in this weird, twisted relationship. Let's just delete our stuff, whatever, and let bygones be bygones. Mm-hmm. Then the lady attacked me again. Okay? She wanted to go through my phone. The last time she went through my phone, she found something. I searched for somebody. But I was just trying to find that person's boyfriend so that I could send him to a comedy show. She blew up. Women get a little jealous. They get a little upset, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't do anything to warrant that level of violence. And if you know me, even for the small amount of time that you've known me, I'm not a violent man. But at a certain point, after like 30, 40 punches in the face, like at a certain point, like enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to sit here and say equal lefts get equal rights or anything like that. That's crazy. I've never close-fisted or even slapped a woman. You know what I'm saying? I may have like punched my little sister in the stomach when we're fighting for a controller as kids or something. You know what I mean? But look, in my defense, if anybody who knows my little sister, she is not a little sister. She is a roller derby champion. She travels all over the world. She can beat up most grown men, okay? So that being said, she stabbed me like 6 or 7 times. Like I've been dealing with abusive Latin women my whole life, which is fine. But it isn't, man, because it kind of ruined my life, man. And this girl, she took the video evidence that I thought we both agreed that we were supposed to delete after I tried to break up with her because she's attacking me again. Things that happened months ago. Mm-hmm. I missed like 2 weeks of work with 2 black guys just out of pure embarrassment, bro. And here's the thing, and I want to say this wholeheartedly. If there's any men out there who are in an abusive relationship and you don't feel like you have anywhere to turn, there are no men's help groups. There are nobody to really call. There's no men's call center. There's no real person that's going to sit there and tell you good advice on how to handle a woman that's throwing a whole lot of hands, maybe some cans, pots, and fucking whatever else is close by. It's a tough situation. And I want to let you guys know. Reach out to me, man. I'll talk to anybody, everybody. It's tough, man. And men's health and like nobody wants to hear about a man's feelings. And I've had to tell a bunch of my friends recently, I'm like, dude, like, hey, man, nobody cares about your feelings, man. That's part of being a man. Yeah. You internalize those feelings, go to the gym, cry softly, and act like it's sweat while you're getting bigger, biceps and whatnot. Or at least that's what I did. That's what I did. And, hopefully you come out better on the other side, man. But in all seriousness, it was one of the darkest moments of my life. It was an utter disaster situation. Then my ex-wife decided to piggyback on her situation and take the kids away from me, man. I was fighting for my life, man. But I will say this. In my darkest moments, it was the black comics in the Houston comedy scene that reached out the most. And I appreciate that so much from you guys. And I can't tell you how much I love and respect y'all's support. You guys always said you're one of the few white guys that can come out to a black comedy room and kill it. I'm not even white. That's wild. But I love y'all for that. Because you know what I'm saying? I'm Mexican. My name's Carlos. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening? But I love y'all so much for that, man. Like, it means the world to me because when I thought I didn't have anybody, I got a call from a black comic saying, hey, man, this ain't right. And you got to go out there and talk your shit. You do this, you do that. And I said, no, I got advice from a really good headlining black comedian. And the advice was like, look, just lay low, get your life together, get your kids in order, get all your court stuff together. And when you're ready and you're ready to come back out here and do what you do, because I think you're really talented and we love the energy and all the things that you bring on stage will fuck with you. And just know that like you don't have to go through this alone. If you need us, like just reach out. You got somebody to talk to. But man, that meant the world to me, man. It really did. Because look, dude, I was at the lowest of lows. Public humiliation, like a damn Ray Rice video out there, people looking at it, judging you. Like, now I didn't go Ray Rice on her though, okay? I didn't do that. I did strangle a bitch for about 7 seconds to tell her, like, hey man, like, I need you to stop throwing these hands at me. Like, your little hands hurt. The Filipino woman trained by goddamn Manny Pacquiao's family or some shit. I can't tell you how goofy I look with 2 black eyes trying to convince my family I gotta take 2 weeks off of work. Embarrassing. Utter embarrassing. And humiliating and not having my kids for so long and trying to... Dude, men in the court system and then family court, again, any men who want to talk about you going through some stuff and you need some advice, family court or regular court, or you're dealing with an abusive, hit me up. Reach out. I'll talk to you. Because I understand, like, I didn't have too many people to talk to. Mm-hmm. And I understand how important that is, and that it's one of those topics that kind of goes unspoken. Like, more often than not, it's kind of like if you watch a TV show and a man will be like, nope, you don't look good in that dress. And then she'll smack him in the face. And it's for comedic effect.
Yeah. And,
now, let's reverse those roles.
Hold on. Perkins said domestic violence against men is not talked about enough.
It isn't. But pay attention. Pay attention to TV shows. Pay attention to movies. And on a weekly, just like for a week, and count how many times you see a man getting smacked, getting hit by a woman, and it's not even thought of. And it's not the fact that it's hurt so much, but after fucking 40 punches in the face and you got 2 black eyes and you got a white-looking, Persian-ass looking face like myself, like, I'm turning all the colors, bro. I was fucking Skittles on my face. Just all the colors, all kinds of purple, bro. Like, it's embarrassing as hell. And for people to think that I was the one that's this monster and I got these comics. And I'm not going to put their name out there because I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to give them the clout that they so desperately need. And I'm not going to feed into this cancel culture nonsense because this is America, man. This is a place of second chances. This is a place of building yourself back up, failed businesses, failed families, failed careers, going back up, put your bootstraps up, fucking get back to work, man. And that's what I did. I had to start from ground zero, lost a whole bunch of friends, people that I thought were my friends, and now they're like frenemies. And that's wild, man, because like I said earlier in the show, it's always those people that are closest to you that can hurt you the most, man. So now I only really mess with like one dude as my best bud, and that's Josh. Josh, I'm going to try and say your last name, so I'm not going to fuck it up. I think it's Yiannopoulos. It's Greek. Look, dude, I can't tell you how inspirational his support for me meant.
Yeah.
Because honestly, in life, sometimes all it takes is one person to believe in you. And that was it, bro. That was the spark that set all of this off. It was one night, I went to an open mic at a bar that a friend of mine said, hey, man, you do comedy, right? I went to this random bar, and they got an open mic, man. You should go do that, man. You're real funny. I know you used to do it. Why don't you do it anymore? And I'm like, man, and it's personal. You don't like talking about it. But I go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go out there. Supposed to do 8 minutes. You know me. I'm running the light. I'm gonna do 15, 20 minutes. And Josh was like, hey, man, that was really fun.
Hold on, he's here, and he broke down the syllables on how to pronounce the name and everything.
Oh, let's see it.
Let's go.
Yiannopoulos.
There you go.
My apologies, Josh. My best bud in the whole wide world, man. Now, his belief in me, it started a whole trickle-down effect of now where you're seeing now.
Yeah.
Because then he booked me for a 10-minute spot. And I'd say 3 months later, I was the headliner.
That's dope.
That's wild.
That's dope.
That's
bro.
not supposed to happen.
That's dope.
You're not supposed to do 10 minutes and then 3 months later you're doing 50 minutes? Fuck out of here. That's crazy. But at the end of the day, I got a lot of crazy ass stories. I got a lot of, different anecdotes and observational humor. Like, as a comic, you got to be multifaceted. You just can't have stories. You just can't have observation. You just can't have political. You just can't, you got to be able to dance, control the room, shut down hecklers. Shut down hecklers.
That's what I want to touch on too. We got a few more questions before we're going to go ahead and end this interview. How do you handle hecklers? I've seen it personally.
Ruthlessly.
I've seen it. I love it. There you go. Perfect, simple answer. And as facts. I've seen it.
Also, I'll say this. Okay, let me give you a couple times that hecklers came up to me or said something. I had this one lady. It was an open mic, music night or whatever. And she was like, we don't want to hear these jokes. We want to hear some songs. I can sing. I'm a great singer. I'll kill karaoke set. Not a problem. All day, every day. Bro, I'll sing my shit. But I'm up here. I'm trying to sell, say some sad dad jokes, goddammit. And this lady would not shut the hell up. And I was like, all right, ma'am, what's your name? What do you do? And she was like, don't worry about it. And I go, you know what, ma'am? She's like, why don't you guess? I swear to God. Bro, I'm not a liar. Okay? I was like, you know what, ma'am? You kind of look like a vice principal that, nobody really respects and the kids are showing up late for class. Her boyfriend lost his shit, pushed away from the table, ran around, and was pointing at her. Was like, oh! She was a vice principal.
Damn it.
She was a vice principal that obviously nobody respected, because I could tell. And he was like, my bad, bro. On my girlfriend's part, came, bought me a shot, brought it upstage. I was like, all right, I can tell my goddamn jokes.
Yo, Josh is in the comments. He said, yo, man, see you next week for the comedy show. Let's talk about it. What you got going next week?
Okay. All right. I got a lot of stuff going on. So Friday, we have a comics playing Cupid at, I want to say it's, what's Friday? What's the name of the bar? I'm having a brain fart.
You got anything going on
Valentine's Day? It's in Galveston. Mob Bar. There we go. Thank you,
Mob
Kelly.
Bar.
Shout out Kelly, one of my
Mob Bar this Friday.
Female supporters. I appreciate you, Kelly. You're an amazing person. All the things. So Mob Bar Friday. Girls get in for free. Guys pay $10 entry fee. We're gonna have matchmaker games where we're gonna have females, males going up on stage. We're gonna try and see if we can make some love connections. Maybe hand out some free dildos, cock rings, all the things. Look, man, it's comedy, baby. Come on. We're having a good time. All right, and then not this Sunday, but next Sunday is going to be the inaugural show at Iron Horse, right across from Scout Bar. It used to be Rocky's Piano Bar. It's now under new management. We're going to be doing something really fun. A little brainchild that me and Josh came up with last night.
So Iron Horse is the 18th. That's the 18th. Next Thursday. Not the following Thursday.
Next Sunday. Thursday. Not this coming up Sunday. The Sunday after. Yeah.
I'm way off. Don't listen to me.
No, don't do that. Let me get the mic. Listen. So it's gonna be so fun because I thought of this and I was like, brilliant. Because I want to bring up other comics and I want to give them an opportunity to get some stage time in front of good crowds. And we had a great crowd at Rock Noonies this past Tuesday. We're gonna be doing another show, not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday at Rock Noonies. And we had an open mic after the show. Okay. Now at Iron Horse, for their first show on the 18th, we're going to do something a little different with the open mic. We're going to have our comedy showcase, and then with the open mic, we're going to have a competition judged by bikini models that are to be determined later, but I'm in the works of finding said bikini models. I'm doing all the research, hitting the streets. It's going to be fun, though, because, look, here's the fun thing about it. You got open mic comics that are doing their best, and I love these guys because I'm these people. These are my people, and you give them an opportunity, and then they're going to be judged by beautiful women. And normally it's the ugly guys judging the beautiful women. Now we're going to reverse those roles. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Me Too movement, all the things, right? And then you're going to get a cash prize. You get $100 to win the open mic. And then you get a paid gig on the next show. I think it's a brilliant idea.
That's dope.
Carlos is going to wear a bikini.
Hold on, before we get to that comment.
Kelly, wow. Is that what you want to see? You think that's what the people need to see? You know I'm cheeked up on a Tuesday afternoon. I got too much cheeks that I'm all yeeted out, man. I don't know if you can find a thong to handle this song. You understand what I'm saying? I got more shakes than R&B songs. Like, it's too much. I can't do it. Banana hammock. Wow. You're asking for a lot. Kelly, you're getting out of pocket. That's what we like to call out of
Yo,
pocket.
I'm weak. I'm fucking weak. Yo, what advice would you give to the next generation, pursuing their goals and dreams?
Listen, I would say this. As a man who's been through the depths of depression, hell, cancellation, public humiliation, I have adapted a new philosophy after going through all of that, and that is that you cannot appreciate the light without the darkness. You have to embrace the journey, the struggle. That is where character is built. That is what makes a man great. That is what makes a woman great, is figuring out that you can't complain. All you can do is just thank the Lord above that you have the opportunity to be walking and talking and the ability to at least try. You will never succeed at what you want to do if you don't try. If you don't try, you'll never win. But if you try, at least you got a shot. Now, I'm trying to come back from cancellation. I'm trying to bring comedy shows to my side of town, to my friends. And I feel like my friends are coming out in big numbers and showing their love and appreciation for me. And I can't begin to tell you how appreciative I am, man. And I'm appreciative to you for giving me this platform to speak about it and understand where I come from, and the fact that you stood up for me in my moment of need when I almost got tackled by a Viking. Incredible. He didn't have to do it. He was like, is this guy Persian or something? He might have oil money. Let me try and save him, bro. Maybe he can get me a deal on some lower gas prices. That's good. I gotta look for this guy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta look out for this. This is my new guy right here. But in all seriousness, man, like, advice that I would give to people is just like, look, man, like, you gotta embrace the struggle. Too many times people complain about their state in life. Bro, just for every dark moment I get, I just kind of giggle. I just kind of laugh because I know that it's just only going to make me appreciate a dope-ass moment that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And I've been through a lot of fucking dark moments, man. I've been through some real depressing times. But sometimes all it takes is one person to believe in you. And it can change your whole life, man. So if you are that one person, or you're looking for that one person, man.
Person right there.
Mama Bear is the one person. Well, Josh, you are my Kung Fu Panda to my fucking steamed fried rice, okay? I appreciate you, buddy. Nobody was believing in me. This guy's been sticking his neck out for me, man, and he's getting canceled by association, getting kicked out of the comedy stage time groups and things. Yeah. He's like,
He said, Josh? That's the name you said?
Yeah, Josh.
Man, big up to you, Josh, for real, man. You're a real one for that, bro, for real.
Oh, here's one of my haters right here. I see him. You're an awful person. Oh, all right,
we're not.
Get better.
We're not about to.
No, it's fine, man. It happens, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, Ben, he hired me to be on one of his comedy shows, and that's what I'm talking about. Those are the type of people that, like, it's the people that are closest to you that are gonna try and like bring you down. And I get it, man. I get it. And it happens. That's what happens in life, man. All I wish is that, victims and the women and all the things that I just wish them mental health, man. Yeah. Because obviously she wasn't in a good spot, and I could have handled the situation a lot better, but it made me who I am today. I wish I could have changed a lot of things, but at the end of the day, like, you can't look back. You can only look forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it, man. I love the hate. I love the fact that people hate me so much. You guys are talking me up. Like, if anything, man, you're just giving me more clout, which I didn't ask for. I was just trying to mind my own business, do my own things, and bring comedy to my side of town, man. But I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. I know you say you don't want to bring it up. I'm gonna mention something, bro. Yo, I don't know you, Ben, but we don't do that negative shit on my show, bro. So move around with that real shit. I don't do that over here. You know what I mean? And saying that, man, it's your boy Reckless Talk with the Reckless Talk Podcast, HoustonCityBeat.com. We are the storytellers of Houston. This episode and this podcast has been sponsored by Otto's Root Beer, best root beer on earth, and J-Wack Distribution LLC. Man, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all. We've been live on YouTube, YouTube Music, and Facebook. We out of here. Episode 116 is a wrap.